What's up, people? Welcome back to DIY with That Eli Guy. I'm Eli, and you know I like to DIY. We're back here at the cottage. We're in the bathroom. It's looking pretty good. I got new floors in, I got new trim on. It's coming together, but I want to rent my cottage next weekend, and I got two big problems. I go on vacation on Sunday, but I can't rent it without a toilet and a sink. Well, I could, but it's gonna be a special kind of client. I got some ideas. This is what we're looking at building here. As you can see, I designed it in a 3D program first. I like to make my mistakes there. Then I can kind of play around and see what I like, see what it's gonna look like. The inspiration for this project came from two different Pinterest kind of posts I saw. One was by The Space Between, and the other was by Build Something. So thank you for the inspiration. I like to give kudos where kudos is due. I kind of molded it from the plans from both. And I think in the end it'll look pretty good. But we got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. So let's get her done. Let's get her done. Okay, so first things first, I want this to be about 36 inches high, which is about normal counter height or table height. So that's about right here. And I'm going to use two of these boards as the top of my table. Pine, and I'm guessing they're going to be about this high. I want them to come inside the trim that's already here, and I'm going to leave a little room because I think I might end up switching this trim anyways to match the stuff on the bottom. I'm gonna make it about 63 inches long. Boom, so we'll cut this off here, and I'll cut the other one the same, and at least we have the top pieces. As my coach tells me, yeah, I'm a life coach, no big deal. But as my coach tells me, sometimes getting started is the hardest part. If you are like me, you procrastinate, you find a million little things to do first. But just get started, and then it'll start. Deep, Elias. Deep. Getting started, half the battle.
Make a body move like a mood swing.
All right, welcome to the garage. It's kind of a mess. Sorry, not sorry. It's a garage. Now I purposely left my boards inside for the last couple days so they could acclimatize to their surroundings. I'm not sure how big a difference it would make. They seemed pretty dry to begin with, but you know, to be on the safe side, I had to store them somewhere, so I just did that. Okay, so these are the posts I'm gonna use. They're 4x4 cedar posts I got from Home Depot because it's all they really had. I don't know if it's gonna matter that I'm mixing cedar with pine, but we're gonna go with it. If I measure this here with my trusty measuring tape, this is 2.5 inches. I know the top of my boards are almost an inch, so we'll say an inch, they're just shy. So about 3.5 inches. I want this to be about 36. So I'm gonna cut each one of these boards to be about 32.5 inches for my posts. All right, cedar smells delicious. Should have did everything in cedar. All right, post number 1. All right. We got 4 posts. Check. Good morning, new day, new set of problems. In bed last night, I was thinking, hey, Elias, you should double check you have all the parts from Ikea for the sink. Well, it turns out I don't. I'm missing this. I have 1, but I need 2. And I'm also missing the trap. I called Ikea, and they will ship it to me, but it's gonna take 7 days, which is not gonna help me get this done in 3 days. So, I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna figure this out yet, but we're gonna have to MacGyver something. This kind of stuff is gonna happen. You're gonna start doing a project, and then you're gonna run into a part, and you're gonna be like, my life. Quitting is not an option. So let's just focus on the stuff that we can do. What I can do is get this bad boy framed. Let's get it framed. Let's get the sink sitting on it, and then we'll figure out the plumbing later on. But let's try and make some progress, shall we? All right, I agree. For this one, we're using 1 1/4 inch. I don't have the Craig jig screws, so I'm gonna go with the regular ones.
I mean, we were just sitting back, you know, chopping it up.
The Craig jig might be one of my favorite tools. It is the best for making strong connections. I really like it. I'm gonna measure 1 inch here on this post. Just shy, actually, because I think that'll look good.
It's all about the journey. Ain't nothing changed but the weather.
Okay, so today's maybe not my day. I screwed up the first board. I had my slider set wrong. I didn't have it set at 3/4 of an inch like I thought I did. I drilled the holes wrong, screws didn't work. I screwed up the one board. Luckily, I'm pretty sure I have extra boards, so I'm fine, but I'll try to use that for the side pieces. It's gonna be that kind of day, but it's okay. We're gonna stay on the train to Positive Town. We're gonna get this thing done.
You ever wanted something so bad that you could taste it? Cried over every opportunity wasted. Good and bad news, which one you want first? Either way you pick, the bad still gonna hurt you the worst. I never got to bask in the fruits of the labor.
Much better.
Got the cash from that dude from the label. I'm just thinking back. Can we go way back? Way back, way back. Can we go way back? Way back, way back.
So let's use this board that I up and make it work for us.
Retrospect, I would've did it the same. In hindsight, I'm the only one to blame. I ain't picky, I'm just real specific. I want nothing less than terrific. I know y'all get it. I'm aggressive, so our style is clashing. Killer instinct, and I play with passion. I'd rather be hated for being one of the realest than get a lot of love for these overrated appearance. I can stand on skill alone, but I'm a package deal. I can write the whole song.
This is where the other Craig jig would come in handy. I think there's like a table set up so you can just kind of put the piece in, keep drilling, and you don't have to keep moving stuff around, but this does the job. Okay, so we got those on. I'm gonna take this other piece of the scrap from the board that I screwed up before, and I'm gonna rip it in two. It's 3.5 inches wide. I'm gonna cut it at 1 3/4. And then I will use that for the bottom of each side of each shelf in between the legs. So that'll give us some stability. So let's get out the table saw here and make this happen. Sometimes I find it easier to do it this way.
That way is stupid, and you will find it short.
That is the worst line ever.
Correct. Yet, you continue to do it for the next half hour, which wastes time.
Don't do it like that. That didn't really work that well. I'm just gonna set up the fence and hope that it's straighter than I am.
It's way straighter than you are. If you're watching this, don't do what he just did. It takes you forever.
Just line up the board and use the fence to guide you.
Done. Future Eli, out.
Perfect. My marks wouldn't show that, but luckily this is much better than my marks. Okay, great. So we got the bottom braces on, so that's good. Now I just need to cut a top piece here, and I think we got a solid base. Then we can put the top on and figure out how the sink is gonna sit on it. All right. This is basically what the base is gonna look like. Go back to some math here. So this is 23.5. Our base is 21.5. So that gives us 2 inches. So we should have 1 inch on every end. I need a straight edge. Thank you. I'm always trying to err on the inside. I can always come back. This laser level is really helping. Thanks, Roby. I just like to get close, and then I like to use the jigsaw to finish it off. The circular saw, sometimes you have to go too far and it just makes messy cuts. The jigsaw will make a perfect cut. I like to try to get close to perfect. Right. I want to put in 3 braces. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Then the plan is you drop the sink in and hopefully we're laughing. So I'm going to take one of these boards here and I've measured, so it's basically 18 inches on the insides here. So I need to make 3 braces, if you will. So I'm going to cut up this into 18-inch pieces. The next thing I got to start thinking about is moving this upstairs. I'm here by myself. So if I put it all together with the sink on, it's gonna be tricky to move solo mission. Right now it's pretty light. So I think I will get this all measured out and then and make sure it all fits. And then I think I'll move it upstairs and we'll kind of put the rest together up there. First, let's make sure it fits.
She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the pool and I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing here. Pretty good height. Wash your hands. There's only a little bit here at the front for the drip. Could probably put something behind here, like your, I don't know, toothbrush. Okay, so next steps, I'm gonna drill the pocket hole so we can attach the top to all the braces. Stain and plumbing we'll figure out tomorrow. Today, I just want to get the main part built. I'm like, why is this so hard? You have it in reverse, idiot. Oh.
If I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend? She just wanna hit me with a quickie.
One of the things I love about DIY is that because you're making it yourself, if it breaks, you know exactly how to fix it.
Oh yeah.
This pocket Craig jig is super handy in this situation because I can just go around and put them in as I need to.
Yeah. Fly it in your ex like, oh my God.
Also, when you're doing it yourself, you know how many screws you're putting on. I know in this case, once I got all these screws in, this bad boy isn't going anywhere.
Oh my God, yeah. She still think it's odd, yeah. I got all these fans.
Okay, I did some research and I figured out what I'm gonna do. After planning it out in my 3D program, I know that I can get 13 slats in here, spaced out at 1 inch a piece. So the plan is to build the bottom shelf, sand down the top here, and then move it upstairs. Then we can call it a day. And I could do, you know, my actual job. So first off, we need 13 18-inch slats. Okay, we got 13 slats. Now, we need to cut the stringers. So we need to cut this board at 54 1/8, and then I'll rip it into 2, and that'll give us the front and the back of the bottom shelf. Okay, great. Let's rip this in 2. Perfect. That works. So that'll be our front and back there. Eventually I'm gonna make another shelf, but for now I think I'm just gonna make the one. I'll worry about the second shelf after the plumbing. Now, I need a 1-inch spacer. I might just use this piece of scrap old laminate and rip it down to be exactly 1 inch, and then I'll just use that as a spacer. Okay, got some gloves. I'm not gonna lie to you. Table saws make me a little bit nervous. When I'm not DIYing, I like to play piano. I need all of these for piano. So I don't think anybody wants to lose their fingers, but I really would like to keep all of them. So fingers crossed. Seems like a weird thing to say. Jury says exactly 1 inch. Boom. Yakasha. Almost like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so what I've done is I've just lined up my 2 stringers for the bottom shelf on the top here, and I can kind of work from it this way. This way I can kind of see what I'm doing. I can line them all up. I can make the pocket holes, and then I'll just flip it around, put it in. Seems like it'll work, right? Line this up on here so we have something for them to sit on. Now, you can space them out. So this one needs to be flush with the edge here. Then we get my 1 inch space. The cool thing is, this allows me to see exactly where I need to put my pocket holes, line up my boards. It also shows me where I need to cut. And I'll put a pocket hole here, and a pocket hole here, and here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting out the part where the post will be. So I marked it from there, so I can cut both sides here. Okay, now that I've marked these 2 spots, I can just cut them out with the jigsaw. Okay, now I need to put the pocket holes in. We also want to put the pocket holes in the bottom. It'll look weird if you see the pocket holes, won't it? Now for these pieces here, I'm just going to put in 1 pocket hole. Seeing what I'm doing here, I'm just lining up the 1 hole so that you just have the 1 hole coming out here, similar to this. And voila, you got a piece with the pocket holes on the bottom. This will fit like this on the shelf. These 2 will go into the side piece on the bottom, and these ones will go into the runners on the side to hold it.
Future Eli back here again. That way will work, but the second time I did it, it worked better. We're working on this board, made it red, and as you can see here, these screws interfere with each other. If you switch it this way and go right into the post, it seems to work better. Also, second time around, I spaced them out like this, which also seemed to work better. I would not paint it red, because that will look stupid. This is a diagram, but hey, it's your vanity. Future Eli, out.
Then from there, we just space it out 1 inch and repeat. So there's gonna be a lot of pocket holes. You probably don't need to watch me do all of them, but you know, time lapse. I think it's gonna be easier actually, in hindsight, if I just put these front and back stringers actually on the legs and then just flip this whole thing over and screw them on. Then there's no guessing. So let's try that. That's why you don't want to use a table saw. It's perfect, but then you get these lines on the other side. This side looks money. This side, you get, the blade has to go past. Luckily I didn't cut it all the way off. Okay, back to the jigsaw then. Maybe there's a way around that with the table saw. I don't know, but I do like how clean it kind of makes. Okay, we're gonna put some pocket holes in a little bit different here. I'm gonna put one here, here, and then I'm gonna put 3 across here, just 1 each. All right, this looks pretty solid here. It needs a rough sanding because it's the top's pretty coarse. So I'm gonna give it a sand. Then I'm gonna take this bad boy upstairs. Slots look good. That was fun. Well, we got it here. It's 1 in the morning, but we've made it a long way from this morning when I first started talking to you. I mean, honestly, we were at a part this morning where I was like, you know what? Maybe I just wait till I get back from vacation. We're still gotta figure out the plumbing. We still gotta stain it. There's stuff to do, but I mean, hey, I built the vanity anyways, and now we just need to make it look good. Anyways, it's late. I need to sleep. Tomorrow's another day. We'll tackle it then. Well, guys, it's gut check time. It's 12:38 on Friday night. Saturday morning? I don't know anymore. What I need to do right now is stain this bad boy. I did pick up some gel stain. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm new to staining. But I picked up some gel stain I think will be good. But because this is gonna be susceptible to water, I need to put on exterior polyurethane as well. So in order to get the polyurethane on, this needs to dry for 6 to 8 hours, which means I can't go to bed until I stain this. On the plus side, these are the faucets that I have. I think they'll look pretty slick when they are all hooked up. Part of me definitely wants to give up, but nobody likes a quitter, so. Okay, since I have really no idea what I'm doing here, I'm gonna go test this on a piece of scrap wood first, so that I don't wreck this and have to build a whole new vanity. All right, I'm outside. It's freaking cold. What happened to summer? Anyways, I stirred up the old stain here. I'm finally ready to get going. It took me a while. I sanded down my top pieces again, but I think they're ready to go. So I'm just gonna do a bit of a test here. Looks pretty good so far. I don't know how long to leave this on for. Let's count to 30. 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat, 8 steamboat, 9 steamboat, 10 steamboat. Okay, Google, set a timer for 15 seconds.
Okay, 15 seconds. Starting.
My handy assistant. That looks pretty good. All right, dark walnut, don't mind if I do. Honestly, it's getting late. We gotta get this show on the road. Good. Definitely a little darker down there, I think. Hard to tell. This end's also light, so.
Now, what do you think? Slightly downhill?
And slanting left.
No, it just seems that way because you only got 1 shoe on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, it looks pretty good. Pretty intimidated by staining. I don't know why. But now that I'm actually doing it, I kind of like it. Funny, I used to always be up until like 2 or 3 in the morning on Friday nights. hitting the town, maybe hit up a club. Now I'm in the garage, staining at 3 a.m. Kind of like it. Less rejection this way. All right, that is the top of our vanity. But I think it looks pretty good. I'm liking this color. It's looking kind of rustic, which is what I was going for. And we're back in the bathroom. So we got the top part stained, so now we gotta do this part. I'm gonna turn on the fan here though, because this stuff is pretty strong. I'm gonna get high as a kite if I don't.
Myself to make a change and better myself, but I don't feel any difference, and that's a shame.
All right, I think we're good. We got a coat on. Maybe we'll add a second coat for parts. I don't know what time it is. The sun is coming up, so I'm gonna go to bed. Tomorrow, we'll battle again. Time check, 5:25. Okay, one coat of poly down. 2 more to go. I'm under attack here, guys. I'm under attack. Well, I just took a bit of a break. But the good news is, this is stained. I got 3 coats of poly on here, and I've fastened the top on here loosely. Now that I have it lined up, I'm going to put in the rest of the screws, really clamp it down, and then add in the sink and the faucet, and try and figure out the plumbing. The plumbing might be a bit of a challenge. Seems solid. It'd be really awkward if I drop this right now. Alright, after way too many trips to the hardware store, I think we're finally ready to get the plumbing done. The main problem was I'm trying to mix parts here. Obviously I built the vanity. The sink was from Ikea. It was like just in the used or as is section. And then the faucets and drain came from Wayfair. So I'm mixing stuff together and I have all the Ikea parts, but it didn't work properly. If you've ever worked with Ikea stuff, it's great if you're using all Ikea stuff, but if not, you have to kind of MacGyver it a little bit. So in this instance, the problem was their sink has this special plumbing part that came with it that the drain just screws into the top of this. Because I have like a normal one with a tailpipe, this isn't gonna work. It's not gonna screw in. So I basically went through and I dry fitted, I cut up a bunch of ABS and made a similar style to what the Ikea layout was. I just did it in different piping that'll fit this drain. Now the problem again came with the overflow. There's an overflow on these sinks, and how it works on the Ikea one is this is in the top, they've got this hose that comes around and it goes in here, and then if your sink were to overflow, the water would flow in here and then just add into the drain and go out. I obviously can't hook this part up because it's not a circle and it's the wrong size, and apparently no hardware stores sell this size piping. I don't know, maybe it's a European thing, maybe it's just an Ikea thing, I don't really know, but all I know is I could not find it at the hardware store, so had to MacGyver something. My workaround, if you run into the same problem, was this piece. It's basically, I'm just using normal ABS. It's like ABS 1.5 down to 1/2 inch. So the hose will actually fit over top of this, like so. And then I will just put this piece in here and voila, that'll work. So if you run into that problem, you're looking for a piece that looks like this. 1.5 by 1/2. Of course, I thought I bought 2, but I actually bought, the second one I bought was the wrong size. It's 1.5 by 3/4. So, back to the hardware store. When you're doing this kind of thing, if you're like me and you're learning, just expect that you're gonna make a lot of trips to the hardware store. Enough talking, more gluing. So I'm gonna glue these together now that I've dry fitted it, and we'll go from there. Little tip I learned online, always do the fitting first because it's easier to set down. So I'll glob some on here in the fitting, set that down, put some around the edge like so. It dries really quick, so then jam it on there. But yeah, it dries really quickly. I should put on gloves. Much better. I already got enough on my hands. That'll work. I was a little bit worried there for a second, then I did up. I think it's gonna fit perfect, actually. Ta-da! This is it, the final vanity. Really happy how it turned out. Everything works. The plumbing works. This is my first time plumbing, but worked out pretty well. So I hope this inspires you to make one of your own and adapt it to fit your house. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, because of course I made some here, but that's the thing. I'm just a regular guy trying to do some DIY. Thanks for watching DIY with That Eli Guy. I'm Eli, and I'm gonna go enjoy my vanity.